this is Liz, and I'm going to be showing you one of our crafts from the 12 Crafts of Christmas. I promised you before, and I gave you a little heads up the last time I was on, and here is what we're going to be making. It's an advent calendar, and at first when I saw it, I thought it looked awfully tedious with a lot of steps, but I have found out, of course, if you do several of them, you find the easiest way to do it. And it is actually kind of a quick project, but since it is all the way this far into November, I thought you wanted to get your advent calendars put together for your children or your grandchildren or whoever you're making them for. And it's actually quite easy. So let's get started first with the cardboard, which is what it is. A piece of cardboard, and all I've done is wrap it with wrapping paper. That's it. And I think I prefer to have an 18-inch by an 18-inch. This is a little bit smaller than this one, and I've actually saved room on the outsides of this here, maybe to hang Christmas cards or something. But I like that there's a little bit more space around the edge. Now, the tree won't have any problem fitting on here, but you just won't have the extra around the edge to be able to hang cards. But I love this paper. I think it's adorable. So, first of all, we're going to be making boxes. And this is tedious, but not hard. I promise you it's not hard. And I kind of went with kind of a 2x2 because I thought it would be easier. And also because the boxes are big enough to actually put a decent little prize in there. Decent little surprise, a little toy or a little piece of candy or whatever have you. And I have two grandsons, so of course one of them will get the first one I've made and the other will get the other. But I just have cardstock, and I have all different colors of cardstock. You can just use one color, you can just stay with white, or you can use all different colors. I have all different. I just grabbed every color because there's not any certain Christmas colors, although red and green is traditional, and of course your silver and gold. But I think all the colors are really pretty, and you did see the paper. So it has green and blue, yellow, red. It has all kinds of colors. So I think these boxes are going to work just fine. So it is actually very simple. What it ends up being is a T-shape with your 2x2 boxes. And on the cardstock, you can get two of these on there. And it's easy to start. You're like, where do you start? I have experimented until I got it figured out. But if you start with one of the corners, and as I said, two of these will fit on one piece, and you're using the entire width of it by doing this. And then the other one, of course, will be flipped the other direction. But to get started, you can see that this corner is going to be exactly 2x2, and that's a corner you're not going to use. So you start by lining that up on the corner. Now you've got your 2x2 square. So what you need, and you're trying to make this shape right here. So this is going to be one of your sides. This next box, that we're making. And you're actually going to go all the way down the width with these. So there's one box. Two. Three. And your fourth box doesn't even come to the edge. It leaves a small piece, a small flap, just a tiny small flap. And I cut it into angle because I'm going to use that to tuck in to the box to help hold the box closed. So after I have made my fourth 2x2 square, and it is very important that you draw all the lines and not just make one solid line, since you know that you're going to be doing 4 boxes anyway with the 2 slants, because those are going to be your folding lines. That will show you just exactly where to fold each fold to make the box. So we're going to go on ahead, and remember, this corner is not even part of it. That's going to be cut out. So we're going to do a box right beside that corner piece. And we're going to do one right across it. This one you've already done. Right across from it to make a T shape. And the T shape is on the opposite end from where you're going to have your box closure, where you're going to have your angles. The T shape is on the opposite end. And you draw another box. And then what you end up with, and I just made a 2x2 piece of cardboard to trace. So you're going to end up with this guy. If I cut this out, this is what you would end up is with this guy. So the middle piece is obviously going to be your bottom. These pieces will fold in to make your walls. This last piece will make the lid, and this is the piece where you tuck it. And there really isn't any way that you have to fold this to make it work any better. But what I did figure out, of course the lines will go on the inside. So this last piece will be your lid. If this is going to be the inside of your lid, then this is going to be the top of your lid, and this is the end that's folding. So I think it would be much easier, and I put the pictures on the front of the boxes. And after they were made, after the boxes were made, and as you can imagine, every time I pushed in on it to get it to stick to the glue, I was bending my lid back in. And so, like I said, you keep doing it and you learn better ways of doing things. So, what I figured would probably be the better idea, and yes, these guys here are so cute. And they're online, they are free to print off. So you just print these off, and these actually are not 2x2. So you find one that you like, and then you have to go and download it into Word or whatever program you want to use, and then make the pictures large enough to fit the 2x2 boxes, the front doors of the boxes. See, these are a little bit bigger than what I have here, but I'm just giving you an example of what you can download to put on the front. If you have no way to download and print this out, what I found is really adorable is just put paper on the front, wrapping paper. Cut squares of wrapping paper and put squares of wrapping paper on the front. I think that would be really cute. And I had thought about doing that until I ran into these cute pictures. So, we have folded our box, and this is the flap, this is going to be the lid. So, if we lie it down this way, and put some glue on it, and then we'll grab our number one picture. We can go on ahead and get that on there now, so we don't have to fight with that later. So that is one way that I have figured out to make it a little bit easier and a little less tedious. So we fold, and like I said, it doesn't make any difference. Just use the next line to show you where you need to fold it. Roll that over, put it right on the line, and fold. Roll the next one over, put it right on the line, fold them all inward so that you're making your box. This one will go all the way to the line. And I'm not even sure if I saw this anywhere. I'm pretty sure I dreamed about this because I was laying in bed thinking, how in the world was I going to make a box? I've never made a box. I had no clue, and I thought, well, the sides have to be the same. The lid has to be the same. It all has to be the same. So how about if you just put a bunch of squares side by side and then do the folding? And as you can see, we're going to tape up the corners and you have your box. So I have tape here, and I'm going to tape up a couple corners, and it's real easy. You just use your fingers and hold the corners, lay it on one side, line it up, the tape on it, and tape all of your corners until you end up with a guy like this, taped. Or absolutely finished would be a guy like this. No one's going to see that tape because you're going to tape them to the board with the picture side out, and they'll be stacked like a Christmas tree shape. So nobody will be able to see your tape. And then I put a little piece of ribbon on it, so it makes it real cute to open the door. Okay, so now that we have the boxes, we have our board. and it goes long ways because the Christmas tree is quite tall. In fact, I believe it's 8 squares tall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 squares tall. Because you have your little stump. You have your little bottom to it here. And then you have the other boxes here on the bottom. So, and what I have not done is measured this. And I brought the tiniest little ruler in here with me. The tiniest little ruler. So, I thought if we lined it up, lined all of these up across the top, then there would be a center box where we could find where we needed to put our number 1 box, our very first box on here. And it looks like we're going to have exactly 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we found out where the purple one is the middle, the very middle, and that is where we will start our tree. And with it being 18, because this is 18 and this is 15, with this being 18, you'll need to get that almost right up to the top. Maybe just a 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 an inch. You've probably got a 1/2 inch to play with, both top and bottom. So that would probably be the easiest way to do it. And since I've already got our number 1 on here, let me finish taping this guy up, and then we'll get him on there. And remember, it doesn't have to be an exact science. As long as they're taped and they're sturdy, they're not really big enough for you to put anything in them that is of very much weight. Probably like a miniature Reese cup or something like that. Maybe some miniature tiny plastic dinosaurs, which is what my grandsons like. Or equipment, heavy equipment. They like that too. So now we have our number 1 box. And so what I've done is I have pre-cut some ribbon. And I even have a little bit of piping here if you wanted to even try this metallic cord looking stuff here. I'm not real sure if I like that. On the other box, I have all ribbon, different colors of ribbon. And I think that looks really cute. And I'm not real sure if the cord has grown on me or not. We have that on the number 2 here. I don't know, it's really pretty. The blue just matches the balls that are on there. But still we have our number 1. And we are going to put, and I just love this ribbon here because it is, well, it's gold and green and red. It is all the Christmas colors that we love. So we glue that to the flap, that little flap that hangs down. It just makes it easier for the little ones to grab a hold and pull open the door. And it also adds a little depth, a little character, besides just having a flat wall on the front. It adds a little bit of character to it. I think it's adorable. So where this purple box was is where our number 1 is going to sit. So it's as simple as putting some hot glue on the bottom of it. And I know where he goes because my paper has a line down through the middle of it. That might also be a way that would help you. Or you could get a regular size ruler instead of the tiny one like what I had. So, and there's our number 1 that's on there. And so you just stack the pyramid. You go left to right as you put your numbers on there. You 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on and so on. And you get to your 6th row, which is your tree. The 7th row would be the stump of the tree, and then 2 at the bottom to make it look like, I don't know, maybe the planter or the ground. And I think I have the 2 ready. We'll go ahead and get some glue on the bottom. And now if on the other side too. I like to put it on both because now it will stick to the 1 and stick to the paper. And you put it right in the middle because you've got your 1 and your 2 and your 3. Yep. I was right the first time, was I not? I was. This is what happens when you're short and you're sitting at a table that's a little bit too tall. Yes, it should be facing the same way the one is. Let's put some more glue on that. And set it back down halfway through the middle of the one. It's always the blooper part of the movies that are the funniest anyway, eh? So we have our 1 and we have our 2. And the 2 is right halfway, right in the middle of the 1, and the 3 is going to sit here. And I do have the 3 ready, and since I'm going to put it on properly this time, the 3 will sit here, and it would probably make it hold a lot more weight and be a little bit more sturdy if I put some glue along here and stuck it to the bottom of the 1, as well as putting it here to go onto the paper. So, and my glue stick done ran out. I love these colors. I love this paper. I love the striped paper when I first did the striped, when I had my first one, but this paper is so cute. So I put it where I'm going to stick it, and then a little bit here to stick up underneath the 1. And that is going to make it even more sturdy. And again, you're not going to put much weight in these guys, but once they are glued down and they're in place, you have the whole stack that can hold weight like this. This guy, if he would had something really heavy in there, then the weight of this and this would definitely hold this guy up to where he wouldn't come off the paper. Again, a 2x2 box, I'm not real sure what you'd be able to put in it that would be very heavy. But, so then we just keep going until we have made our pyramid, and you go 6. There's 6 rows of the actual tree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you have your 1 right in the middle of these 6. And then the 2 will be done the same way as it was done up here, right in the middle. And so we do have our 4, 5, and 6. The 5 would go in the middle, 4 here, and the 6 here, etc. So I'm not going to finish this up today because I'm sure that you have no intention of sitting for a half an hour and watching me put all this stuff together. But I think you do get the gist of how it's done. And another thing that I learned whenever I made the first one, when you wrap the paper around the cardboard, go ahead and put some hot glue on here before you flip it over and put it down on the paper, and that will make it even more sturdy as well, because you won't have the paper coming away from the cardboard after you put the boxes on there. So that will also make it more sturdy. This one I didn't do, and I'm wondering, I see the paper moving when I move my boxes, so definitely hot gluing that wrapping paper onto the cardboard is definitely going to make it more sturdy. So again, we have our advent calendar, cute as it can be. If the doors keep popping open, you just simply fold the paper a little bit more firmly and until it stays closed. So, really cute. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you really soon for my second of the 12 Crafts of Christmas. Thank you.